Nice. Welcome. You guys have been playing for 10 years?
This band has been together for 12 years.
12 years?
This group is about 7 years now.
Yeah, there's been some change out of lineup.
Okay, how did this all come to happen? How did you get together originally and then?
So the only two original members are myself and Chud on bass. And we had both come off of very different projects. So Chud was in metal. What would you describe it as exactly?
Technical death metal band.
Technical death metal.
Nice.
Yep.
And I was coming out of what was sort of a poppy alt rock that turned into disco funk alternative.
Okay.
And I wasn't really into that. So I put out an ad to start sort of a alt country folk band, which is where the name comes from, because I thought it sounded like an alt country folk band, like a sad person playing guitar.
That is a great line.
Yeah. And the drummer we hired didn't know how to play that, so we immediately became a hard rock band. And just kept the name.
I think that I love that you changed the whole format for your new drummer.
Yeah, well,
As some
it's
commitment
hard
to
to
the
find
new
a good
guy.
drummer.
Yeah.
You didn't yet.
What?
You didn't find a good drummer yet?
That's what you got.
You mean I hadn't?
You hadn't. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're fine.
Poor
Don't
choice
worry.
of words there.
We have
that
had
time.
good drummers. Corey was a great
I'm out of
drummer.
here.
I was gonna say, we gotta call the principal. We're in trouble. We're in trouble. Well, that explains that because you have, especially the different albums through the years, each has a very different sound.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Why? That's the question. The first one, I think we were just trying something different. So whenever you work in a band, you want everybody to have a voice in it. And I knew he was coming from metal, and the guitarist at the time was into hard rock. And I'm like a Hall & Oates guy. So I was just trying to make everything work for everybody in the band. So that was a hard rock one. And then there was one track on there called You're a Zombie 2, which was more pop punky.
Okay.
So on each album there's one song that doesn't quite fit, and that's where we're already starting to write something for the next album. And that's when the next album went. So each one has kind of like a little key to where
Like a little
next one.
Easter egg.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
What's coming? That's awesome.
Yes.
Also, I'm going to take it now that you say you always want somebody to have a say in the band.
Absolutely.
We talk to a lot of people. Not everyone feels that way. But
I kind of love that you
Yeah.
do that too.
We are
The mix.
We're very democratic.
We're
Absolutely.
democratic, but we're also musical historians. We pay attention to biographies of bands and what works and what doesn't work. And it always comes up that there's one person that writes the music and the lyrics, and they get all the royalties, right? Or they want to have the say, and that creates tension. So we make a point of everybody writing their own parts. And if you have an idea, we'll try it out. If it doesn't work, we'll tell you.
Yes. We're very quick to tell each other that song is not going to ever work.
No, that's just for you. In the
Yes.
shower. Yeah. And I mean, you sort of said that each album will have a little
Nugget.
nugget for the album coming ahead. Is that intentional? Do you set out with? Yeah. Okay.
No.
No?
No. Before we start writing any album, because we think in albums, because we like to have a bigger work, because when somebody has an EP or you listen to an EP, it's over so fast. It's nice to be able to put it on long play for 40, 30 minutes. So we'll have a concept, and we'll write around that concept, and then towards the end, as we're recording, we'll kind of get sick of it and try something else. It's like, actually, this is pretty good. Maybe we should put this on there too. So it's not intentional. This is how it ends up.
You say you have a concept. Do you pick a genre? Do you say today's going to be about oranges? I mean, I can see looking at some of the albums, it's very clear. Like, it's all acoustic. It's all
Right.
But,
Actually, that is how we chose the concept for this album. Is the last one was all acoustic, and we played a bunch of acoustic shows, and we had a good time, and people actually really showed up to them, and
If they could talk to each other.
right.
While we were playing.
Yep.
Maybe play Giant Jenga.
I am a shusher to people, so you can call on me.
There we go. So this one, we kind of we wanted them all to be electric songs.
Yeah.
And like that was more or less the working title that we knew was not a good title, so we were always going to change it. But we had the word electric in mind when writing all of these songs.
We also had this fun concept to try to make the track listings work as a sentence by the end.
Yeah, they don't.
They don't.
We don't now.
They're all great ideas to generate concepts, but they never end up lasting all the way till the end.
I like the idea of it though.
Right?
Yeah.
That's a good challenge.
Little stuff like that is just creative starters.
Yes.
Right? So it gives us somewhere to start. And for some songs, maybe like, let's try to write a song that this band would write. And then, because we're writing it, it ends up sounding like us. And that was just how we got our foot into writing something. So we're not stuck, you know?
I think that I used to teach at a community college, and writing was one of the things. And I learned if you want kids to get creative, tell them they have to do a sestina or a haiku, because then the joy of breaking out of that was so exciting to them.
Absolutely.
You know, and I was like, I don't really care if you do a sestina. Just write something that you're excited about.
Uh-huh.
Should we listen to one of the songs on the new?
Yeah, let's do
Sure.
it.
Let's do it the first single.
Yeah. All right.
Radio.
Okay, here we go. Nice.
Now, clearly, folks on the radio will not hear us talking.
Yeah.
But that's still on.
Fantastic.
So we get to watch you listen to your song.
I had a very fun conversation with somebody while the song was playing, and we were both like, "Oh my god!"
Still
Two
recording.
interesting conversations. Yeah, you live and you learn.
Nope.
Where's
Absolutely.
the shush? The shush is in it.
It's only live shows I do it. It does drive me nuts, so I'm like, if you're gonna go downstairs or in the back.
Go away. Yes. Go
It's so
outside.
rude.
Yep.
It's so rude. Yeah. Shush.
Nope. Not big on people's like screaming the lyrics at the top of their lungs as well, right next to you. I do want to hear that person. I understand the wants to,
Yeah.
and like I'll sing along sometimes, but it's a question of volume. I think where it crosses the line.
Yeah.
Can
Oh,
I
yeah.
hear the artist or not?
Or can I see the artist?
So yeah.
Or
Oh,
just
yeah.
being a tall person and deciding to stand
Oh.
in front of
If right.
other people
Yes.
that are short.
Yes.
That's why I stopped
No.
going to shows.
Oh yeah.
Everybody was mad at you.
The last show was the old 57s. at
Oh,
Skyline.
the other night, yeah.
And I went there with two buddies, and they were mega fans, so they were like kind of camped out. And I'm standing there, and by the time they were on, I was like, I can't do this anymore because people were just
So long.
bouncing into me.
Yeah.
Like, it was so bad. I
You're
felt
like,
go to
you
the
do
back.
not want this to get angry.
Last show I went to, somebody that was tall actually had "sorry" on the back of their shirt.
Oh, that's
I
great.
kind of
So you
love
should
that,
do
though.
Yeah.
I kind of love that. I know, I have come to find if I just go in the back, I can see and hear much better.
Absolutely.
I usually go back by the sound booth, somewhere I can just be out of the way.
Yeah.
Especially if I'm a show where there might be a mosh pit. No thanks, I'm older. I don't want
Could
that.
break a hip or something. I know, because before I'd always like, I gotta get in front so I can see, but then, yeah, you can't hear or you have all the people.
Yeah.
The sound's not the best up
No,
front.
it's not. It's not. So, like, and yeah, if you're tall or not, I'm back far enough. I can see.
Yeah, my wife and I tried to did the whole concert for Bridget Calls Me Baby on 7th Street Entry, like right on the stage, and it had been years since we tried that.
You're like, it's hot up here.
Right. I mean, and we took it seriously. We danced the whole way.
Well,
we
that's
took,
awesome.
You know, we got to give energy back. But at the end of the night, it's like, wow, I couldn't really hear much.
Nope.
Just the one guitar
Or now.
chorus. Yeah.
See,
Yep.
Handsome Midnight with radio. What is the order? Is radio the first song you wrote for this album? I mean, how does the order of that come? How do you decide this is kind of what we're going to name it? How is?
I don't remember the first song we wrote.
No,
for that.
radio's kind of in the middle of the
Yeah.
whole thing.
Middle towards the end
Yeah.
when it was written. It was started by Kyle.
Yep. And I sing lead on that song.
Okay.
No, I just wrote it. It was in the middle of all the tracks we were writing. Just about this sci-fi concept of giving radio to the Romans, as giving a futuristic technology to an ancient society, and then you just kind of like either it will work and it like advance society
Yeah.
faster than you would think, or they use it as like a paperweight and nothing happens.
But that was a metaphor.
That was,
for-
yeah, and I connected that concept to just a lot of friends turning in on themselves after the pandemic, more or less not trying to find help, just kind of all the things that used to just be like little quirks became what they thought is just them. And it's like you want to
walk
help,
around me now.
right? You
Yeah.
want to help. And you want to do everything you can, and all you can do is give them help, and maybe it'll work, and maybe it won't. Maybe they need more time. You can't control it, and that's more or less what that song is about. But I think the reason why we chose it as the first one we wanted to kind of push, and why that's the name of the album, is more or less it felt like one that we all really wrote together.
Well, it also encapsulates a lot of the writing themes for the album.
Yep.
Because we did the acoustic album during the pandemic, but we also started writing this one at the tail end, and that's when we were seeing the effects on people and how absurd and belligerent other members of our society have been.
Yes.
So a lot of the songs are about that.
Well, I just think it's such an astute observation because a lot of us did. In different ways, for better, for worse, in different ways, in different things. It's kind of came into it, and I think we're seeing some of the effects of that now.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
that's
Not everybody came out great. I had a great time because I'm an introvert, and I just loved being able to stay home and not having to shake hands for a couple years. But it hit a lot of people super hard. A lot of agoraphobics now. People afraid to go out and such. Depression. It's hard.
It's and I have kids, kind of 19 to 25, and you see the effect on that. You know, those years where you should have been out traveling or
Yeah.
going out and doing different things, and it's gonna. Let's hope that they pick up that it's, that
Yeah.
You can get a past it.
Hopefully they receive the help and know it for what it is and can take the help.
Well, and because we're talking about radio, because I'm holding the CD in my hand, and it always makes great radio to say, "Tell me about this picture." But it is. I love to cover it, so I'm going to ask you guys to describe
Yes,
it,
yes.
explain it, because it fits in so well with the song. I'm handing it to you guys like you don't know what the album is.
I went for super literal on this one. So we wanted to put a little bit more effort into the album cover this time. So I asked my wife to help me because we both went to MCAT and she was the painting major. I was the film major. I'm not doing film right now. So I brought together a few different concepts. So I took an idea of like a Renaissance painting and Edward Hopper painting and our own styles, and that was about 18 hours of work back and forth for the two of us.
Because you painted it.
Yes.
Yes. I mean, people can say it's a paint. It's funny because now that you say Edward Hopper, I'm like, oh yeah, the checker floor. I mean,
A
and
little bit
even the
here and there
composition
and
of the amazing.
Thanks.
Amazing. You guys have some videos out. Do you take care of the videos? Is that you?
I always want somebody else to do it.
He's the film major, so he might as well put it to use.
Yes. Yeah, Steve handles almost all of the work when it comes to the music videos, and we've had conversations with other people about getting help and collaborating, and they've kind of never panned out.
It flakes out or it's expensive.
Yeah. So we are a very DIY band.
Yeah, anybody that's in a band knows that you don't make money unless you're playing cover shows.
Yep.
At those bars that women put sparkly shirts on to go to. Bon Jovi. And we're not ready to do that yet.
Yeah.
Like, we still want to create music. And I hope people want to listen to it.
Yes.
But you got that in your back pocket.
Yes, we
If
do.
you need it.
You gonna
Absolutely.
say sparkly shirts with their shoulders showing, right?
Yes.
Oh, of course.
yeah.
Of course. That's
Oh,
the
the
go-
cutouts.
That's
Yes.
the going out shirt.
Yep.
That's our new merchandise.
There we go.
I like that.
Do the men's version.
Exactly.
Oh, that's the the printing on the back pocket of the jeans.
Yeah, that's that.
That would
I'm
be
so
some
glad I
different
don't
merch
have
for
any
sure.
of this stuff yet.
No,
Yeah.
no. I will say a nod to the rock and roll video.
Oh,
That is
yeah.
so.
Oh,
It's
the
just
kiddos?
fantastic. Yeah.
that's my kid and niece and nephew in there, and drummer's kid for a second.
Well, that and I should say what it from the outside what it looks like is all the kids get together on a Zoom
Mm-hmm.
and say, "Let's do rock and roll."
And that was pre-pandemic.
Yeah.
Are you
didn't-
serious?
Yeah.
I didn't know that was gonna happen.
Yep.
Wow.
Way to go, Steve. You caused
Yeah. Watch what video you do next. But
Beware.
it is just so charming, and it's just and it what it comes off is like it's each of you as kid.
Yeah.
It just
Oh.
is so.
I didn't.
A little bit, yeah.
I didn't see that.
Oh.
I just was sick of filming myself.
No, just very much. I was like, oh, this is great. It could take some back in time, and
The hairbrush.
exactly.
Yeah.
You tell the album is dropping on Halloween.
It's my favorite holiday.
I was gonna say, did you select it because it was Halloween? Did you think, oh, that's Halloween, or
Honestly, the reason why we selected it is because we wanted a chance to put out a single. We were done with everything. And we're like, we're going to put out the single at the end of a month. And so let's just say 2 months later at the end of that month. Oh, it's the end of
That's
October.
pretty Halloween.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So it just kind of lined up more than anything else. But it's also my favorite holiday. So it works really great. It's going to be a great time of year.
You get to like dress up, you get sweets.
Yeah.
It's a community holiday where everybody just gives food to each other.
Yeah.
It's great.
what's not like? And you've got a show coming up on November 11th.
Yeah,
that's
to formally release the album, even though it's obviously coming out
Gonna be
earlier. And nobody has CD players anymore, so I'd rather have people listen to the album and then come knowing the album because we're gonna play it.
Oh, that's
Right.
Yes.
I love that kind.
Yeah.
It's because a lot of times people come, and and it's all new music, and
Play the songs I know.
Yeah.
that's
Right.
it. That's it. And you can understand people want but it is a much better concept to listen to it a few times and then go.
Yeah. Yep, so we're excited. It's November 11th at Underground Music Cafe.
Yeah, the place is super cool. It's right by the Twin Stadium, and it's owned and operated by musicians. So
Yes.
it is a dream to book there and play shows there.
Absolutely.
Nice.
That's awesome.
I was gonna say, and don't sing the lyrics really loud in the front row. You're giving us time to memorize.
You know, if you learn it, then you put the work in. Go ahead, I say. I guess.
I like when people sing along and dance. It's just we've done some shows where everybody sits down, and I just don't know what
Oh,
to do with
weird.
that.
Weird.
Yeah, no.
It's really strange.
I'm
Yeah.
so glad to hear you say that because I am the one who's my rib cage is on the stage. I like to be right up front. I like to dance the whole time.
Yep.
Luckily I'm not that tall, but I'm still getting people's
Yeah,
face.
yeah.
And going to a show where you have to sit, I hate it.
And it sucks
Feels
for the musicians too, because we feed off that energy. We're like fairies. Doesn't mean that.
Yes.
Doesn't mean that we're attracted to the same sex. Although there are some that aren't.
Well, that's we're not here to.
It just means that we need to feed off.
So
that
long as they
energy.
clap for the music,
Yeah,
that's all.
that's it.
you
It's hard to get into it and
Yeah.
put it out there.
Yeah,
People
when-
aren't giving it.
The biggest dance move you see is just people nodding their head as if they agree that the music is happening.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
It's like, it's not. It's all you get, just a bobbing head. It's like, okay, well, that's something.
That's something.
That's something.
It's movement.
I have always wondered, and it turns out musicians can be different from each other, but there are some that I think really like to play in the quiet of in a parkway or in a coffee shop or in a. Good, I'm glad you have
there's-
people because I'm always like, I would love to see you, but you're playing someplace I'd have to sit down,
Right.
and that's not
Yeah.
gonna suit me.
You have to write music for the space you know are going to be performing it in, and we actually wrote this for spaces we're not performing in.
Well, as you said, kind of the polar opposite of the acoustic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is where the next album is going. Like I shouldn't be talking about the direction.
The
we haven't even
next
released
thing.
this one. Yeah,
We
yeah,
haven't
yeah.
even finalized
We
an
wrote this
idea.
one for a.
What's the Easter egg?
What?
What's-
Yeah.
oh,
Well,
so-
what?
Well, that'll be the third track we play.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, if we get a
you're
chance.
Oh, wait
bit.
for it. Yeah.
Yeah, so this album is written for like a 400 person club, like First Avenue, where we can play really loud, but we're playing places that hold like 100 people, 200 people, so we can't play
Yeah.
it super loud because it's a little more like heavier rock stuff because we were really pushing against the acoustic. Like, how hard can we go? And we were playing some of these songs while we were writing it at like breweries,
Yep.
Yeah.
and people weren't quite ready.
They weren't ready for it.
Tell them like last show we played
What was the
at
last
the
show
coffee
we played?
shop.
Oh yeah, we played it. What was the name of that coffee shop?
Pillar
Pillar
Forum.
Pillar Forum.
Pillar
Yeah.
Forum.
That was a
Yeah.
great play. Like,
Yeah,
It was a little
loved
bit
the
bigger
venue.
than this booth.
but I think we might have done a little.
You're looking
Oh,
at
my
everybody's face there.
Yeah. It's like, oh, we should have played pop punk instead.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's nothing wrong with playing in cafe, and if you're into that vibe, and we've played cafes before,
We loved it.
and if you're in the mood for that, and sometimes we are,
Mhm.
but sometimes we just want to rock.
I hear that.
Well, and that is the beauty of the diversity of the albums. You can get this in that pocket, get this in that pocket, and always kind of play the one that makes sense.
Yeah, and having 6 albums worth of music now, depending on where we play and what bands we're playing with, we're like, we can cherry pick the songs we played. Like, it's gonna be a little softer.
yeah, that's not. We won't lead with that one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Should we play another song?
Yeah.
Do you want to tell us? Do you want to tell us about a song before we play it, or after, or what?
I don't know.
You guys
Well, this
tell
this
me?
was gonna be the second single, but it didn't work out technically on mine.
The technical issues more than
Oh, well,
anything else.
that's
This one is about that friend or uncle of yours that thinks the world is flat, or the most crazy,
Mhm.
insane theories. Maybe they believe in Q.
Oh,
So you listen to this and you'll get the full picture. Most of our songs we like to have a lot of subtext, but this one's pretty much on the nose.
okay.
What's the name?
I don't remember.
is it? Do you know
I
the
need a
name?
break today.
That's it.
I need a break today. Okay.
I need a break
Notes.
today. Handsome Midnight.
Good job, Steve.
Perfect.
Um,
Yeah.
I don't know how to make a music video for this.
No?
No. I
Whose
do a-
uncle is in
I
the
was just
video?
gonna say-
Put a
We
whole
should
bunch
do
of
it.
just Twitter
I think-
articles and be
Yeah,
done.
well, there. That's.
I think we do
Uncle's
all
reading
know
Twitter.
people, but lyrics were entirely on this one right here, Steve.
Oh,
so
nice.
Based off
It's all
a friend
his
of mine who
family.
has
Yeah.
a sense of humor, so I think I can have him be in my video as himself.
Your dad?
No.
Oh,
my
I know.
dad's my
Oh,
friend.
Marcus. Yeah, Marcus can do it.
He believes in the deep state.
Got some of that in my life too. Yeah. And there's no talking about that. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. No.
Yep. Gotten to the point where I'm like, I'll have one more beer, but you can't discuss politics.
Yeah.
Because I know if you have that one more beer,
It's coming out.
Yeah.
it's coming out.
Yeah.
It's coming out.
It depends on who they are, because I can talk with some people like that, but some of them you just can't. I don't,
No.
don't even open them. Don't even open the can. This one was a pastiche of Stroke 9 and a little bit of who's that other band? Bowling for Soup. It's
Oh.
supposed, the idea was, the starter for this was, what would an early 2000s old rock band sound like?
Yeah.
Chud, I could see your metal in some of the videos, your stance in your head. I was like,
I-
okay.
Chud is
He
a totally
can-
different person on stage.
Yeah.
I'm very introverted until I get on stage with a bass, then I'm different.
He also
So
has
that
to-
could happen. That magic could happen.
Absolutely.
To me.
Oh, that happens
Okay.
We're-
every show.
We're
Yeah,
Oh,
every
yeah.
show.
yeah, one of the openers dropped off, so now we're going to a 2-hour basically show for this one, and we start off with "Now Is the Time," which is the beginner
On
on,
the
this album,
Yeah.
and like we played it the other day. I'm like, I'm gonna need to warm up for about 20 minutes before I do that
I'm
because
gonna
that
do
is
my
just non-stop.
stretches and-
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's awesome.
It's one of the things I loved about the band before I joined it, because I was just shared bills with the guys, and then my band broke up and their guitarist quit.
We
just
called you
kind of-
immediately.
Yeah, immediately.
Yep. You're like,
But,
got a guy.
Yes. I was like, God, that bassist is fun.
Yeah,
fun
it
to
is
watch.
fun to watch. Definitely brings up the energy, that's for sure.
And at that time, just like now, there was 2 people singing all the time, so
Yeah.
we need something
Something
of
has to
visual
happen.
interest up there.
Yep.
So we had him in the middle.
I know, I like that too, the placement.
I Need a Break Today by Handsome Midnight, who we have in studio. on Mostly Minnesota Music on WMCN 91.7 FM in St. Paul. Gotta get that in every now and again.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we're talking about the new album that's coming out, Rain, and you've got the
Radio.
show Radio. Why Rain?
Because dancing in the rain.
Dancing in the Rain. I'm
Make a
yeah.
note.
Yeah, that would be the next one.
Yes.
That's the Easter egg. You're welcome.
Peace out.
Yes.
Yep.
And we were talking a little bit about radio. Folks were listening to the song about the upcoming show. How do you guys prepare for a show?
It depends on the show.
Yeah.
We've done.
How are you preparing for the Minneapolis Underground show in November?
First, we were just gonna do like a tight hour set, which would be the album and then maybe 4 or 5 songs. But when the first band on the bill literally broke up, we took it as an opportunity to just play a longer set, which we've done a lot of.
We've
I
done a
played
lot of
my
long
cousin's
sets.
wedding
Yep.
last month. We played a 2-hour set for Amory, Wisconsin.
Yep. The fall festival.
Yeah.
We did a 3-hour acoustic show at the beginning of the year.
Mhm.
So we have the
We're marathoners.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Essentially.
it is actually
With the
something we're
longevity.
more comfortable with at this point, playing the longer shows.
Yeah.
We've also done a punk show recently that was like half an hour, tight 30, and it was
feel
like
over in
3
the blink
hours.
of an eye. I'm here to play.
So we will say what are we trying to accomplish. This one's obviously we're going to play the songs from the
Yes,
album, but
yeah.
it depends on who the audience is, where you're playing, who the other bands are, and then we'll pull songs that we want to do, and we'll decide an order, and if we have time, we don't have 3 shows in the same month.
Yes.
We'll run it because we like to be as professional as possible.
Oh my goodness, you guys.
Yep.
Do you have a set
We-
list?
we-
You just kind of stick to it.
Yep.
You're
Yep, we have normally 2 band practices a week, so we're running 3 hours of music twice a week, either testing out different shows, different set lists, writing music, kind of whatever we can fit in with that time. But we're constantly working on things.
Trying different covers for fun.
We call them palette cleansers.
nice,
Yeah.
nice,
I like
nice.
that.
So 6 hours a week during practicing,
Mhm.
but each of you does other stuff for the band too. This is a huge.
We do as much as we can,
Yeah.
just based on what we already can provide with the skills we have.
Yeah, so the last couple of albums I have started doing the mixing and then now the mastering as well and the engineering.
Yeah.
So
Thanks for
we
that.
just record in a practice studio that we rent anyway, just to have gear in the spot. I just set up microphones, and as we're practicing, I just record over and over. And for this last album, I just kept making changes every practice until I thought the sound was where it should be, and then we officially recorded. And we, even though it's a little bit more because of the lack of space, we don't do full live recordings where all of us are recording at the same time because there's just a lot of bleed and we're very loud in a small room. We DI everything for the bass and the guitars so that it's not sounding in the room.
Okay.
And then the drums are recorded, and we have tried just reamping the guitars so that it's still the exact same performance. I think for this one we wanted to just really make sure everything sounded tight and ready, and so we'd be extremely proud of it. So we all kind of buckled down and did a full day of our own parts and recorded everything, and then
That's what Kyle does.
and then I mixed it
Wow.
and mastered it, and got it ready. And this one, I feel like I actually know what I'm doing. The other ones were nice tests.
Yes. And we of course write all of our own parts.
Yep.
I will start the writing process for most of the songs. Kyle's picked up more. I will do like album artwork and some of the marketing stuff, most of the marketing stuff.
Yep.
Chud is the one that will help us find merch and such.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And Brian.
And Brian-
I'm approaching retirement.
Brian's
You're
also
the
find
good
a good
drummer
drummer.
that took so
Yeah.
long to
drummer.
find. Yeah.
And he has the hardest job when it comes to shows and lugging his gear. He
Yeah.
usually has to
Yeah.
drive separate.
Yeah.
And he's very good at what he does.
Absolutely.
It's no excuse. But
We keep trying to get him on a microphone.
We
We
try-
don't even know what he sounds like.
Yeah. He's got some Freddie Mercury pipes or something. We just don't know.
Yeah.
That's for the 7th album, right?
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. There we go.
We're gonna
how
get
that
some
goes.
Little Easter egg there.
Yeah, we'll just keep popping them out. Yeah.
It's my life's goal to get him on a microphone.
Mhm.
He's got something to add.
Keep trying.
And he is the one sitting the farthest away from the mic in the studio.
Yes,
He's outside the door. You don't even see him. Yeah. That's, well, that would be a fun. That could be one of your palate cleansers.
Oh,
Start there.
Oh,
you can say-
man. We can move on to the next topic.
We'll take you off the hot seat. Say, should we play another song?
Let's
Yes,
do it.
this is the Easter egg. It's Dancing in the Rain.
Okay, we're just gonna start. Got it?
Do
Yeah.
it.
Nice floor explanation. Steve.
I can do it after.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is.
yeah, a bit more upbeat, bit
I like-
poppier. I think we love this album, but yeah, after a couple of those coffee shops and stuff, it's like, yeah, people really don't want to hear this really heavy stuff from us, do they?
Well, we were listening to it, and we were listening. I'm like, okay, it's heavy, it's good.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, got something different here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like it all though, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely does not make you want to sit in a chair though and listen.
Yeah, appreciate
That's good.
that.
Yes.
That's
I was gonna say if you're playing this or the others at the coffee shop, you didn't need the espresso shot or anything. They're like, oh, yep, we're away.
good. Absolutely.
I'm gonna sneak out and get
A drink of your
yes, because
caffeine.
I did a weird thing where I did interview a whole bunch of people the other day. You had us more talking than I write for a living, so
Sure.
No talking. So you always have done the Easter egg thing for all the albums?
It just always ends up that way.
It always ends up that way.
Yeah,
and-
it's really not on purpose, but you know, I think his explanation was a good one. Just like we just keep writing even through the recording process, and so we then just pick whichever ones feel the best for the album, and it just really, from the beginning of the process to the way tail end, it's just such different genres, and by this point we're kind of already thinking about this, and so it just kind of always has happened. That
And we're
there's-
fans of so many different kinds of music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That things we like are gonna bleed in and our influences because art isn't in a vacuum, right? Everything
Yeah.
comes
Yeah.
from something.
Yep, I see the bass, right? You're moving.
I really wanted,
This one in particular.
Yep.
like sometimes I'll write songs. I'm like, I want Kyle to have something or Brian to have something, and this one is like, I want you to start a song. You always have to wait.
Yeah, we got a couple ways there.
Yeah, two on
Something
this album.
fun.
Yeah.
Something fun to do.
That's cool though to envision it yourself too when you guys are writing it
Yeah.
for each other.
Especially,
I like it.
I also like to think of what it will be like performing this song. What do I want? How do I want people to react? Like, do I want them to dance? Do I want to just blow their face off? They don't always react the way I want them.
No,
No, they
not
don't.
always.
Well, that means there's always a challenge, you know?
Absolutely.
do you want to play another song off this album, or no? I mean, because we can play something out. Let's say we could probably play one more song, and it can be an older song. It's up to you. But before I,
Oh,
I'd rather
good
do that now than.
Good question.
Which one?
Are you thinking older, or you lit up when they said older song?
Like how
Yeah.
old?
Yeah.
How old are you thinking?
I don't know. Just like in one of the last two albums, or it could be another one on this album.
We got a quick. Choose quick.
No, you can.
We have like 10 more seconds
We didn't
of
get
this
really
thing.
any play from our self-title.
What'd you dance? Oh, what'd you want?
Do dance.
Maybe dance.
Do dance. What's up, handsome in
What? You don't like dance?
Dancing in the Rain with Handsome Midnight, who we have in studio.
Thanks for having us.
Yes.
Thank you.
As we talk, I realize how intentional all of you are about your writing and what you do, and very purposeful. So what is your intent like for the next 6 months with this album? What would you like to see happen? What would delight you or surprise you?
If people listen to it, and we enjoy every aspect of being in a band, even loading up gear.
Yeah.
We hate promoting ourselves
Yes.
and self-aggrandizing. We're all introverts. Oh, it's
Yeah.
horrible to be in a band and nobody is outgoing, right?
Uh-huh.
So, I guess we're gonna have to push this and just get as many people to listen to it as possible.
I mean, yeah, I think we are trying to be more intentional with what we're doing with this album. We've absolutely done albums where it's like, okay, great, we have it, we have a thing, we'll put it out there. Hey, I got a new song, let's work on something else.
Let's do the fun part again.
We're busy.
Yeah.
Right, absolutely. And I think for this one, we are very proud of it.
Yes,
and
with good reason. I mean, it's
appreciate that. Yes, so we are going to be trying to reach out to more people, trying to be a little bit more purposeful with telling people to listen to the album and listen to the songs, because we do think people are going to like it.
I think people react to videos, so I'm gonna try to get some more videos out.
Yep.
Learn to those short reels and such. Those
Yeah.
kids.
Yep.
Yeah.
Those kids.
yeah. And your videos are very fun. Whose basement has all the pinball machines?
Oh yeah.
that's
That
a,
is our
that's,
goal.
that's a scene. Well,
Wow.
that's the role you play.
Yes.
That is, yes.
That's
Yes.
it is a party room.
Wow.
If
Like,
we have a band night, we go to.
We go to Brian's house.
Yep.
We play pinball all night.
yeah, I can imagine.
That's cool.
And I should say, and I can't remember what the song is. I'm sorry, but for the
That was
okay, good because it's taking you guys
It's
a
on
minute
the-
too.
Yeah,
it's off the acoustic album. It was like track 4-ish.
Well, it's a
Oh, I never saw it
Yeah.
coming.
Yeah.
that's that, like Irish jig kind of tune.
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. Here's two tonight.
Here's two tonight.
Yeah.
That you know what's funny? I'm glad to hear you say that because I always think that I hear the Irish in anything. I lived in Dublin for years. I mean,
Sure.
so that kind of I was like, oh, this has a very, and I worked in an Irish bar in town for 10 years.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
is this in my brain? So good. I'm glad to hear you say that. That would be.
I think I wrote that after I saw the movie once. I wrote that
Oh.
song years and years ago.
Oh.
And I'm like, hey, I got this song and put this on the album.
They didn't really catch fire for the next album, though, did it?
That wasn't the Easter egg.
No, that wasn't the Easter egg. No.
That could be your future right
There
there.
you go.
Uh-huh.
Worked for Glenn Hazard.
I'm American. I would feel like I was posing.
No, no.
It doesn't matter that I have a great great grandpa that might have been from Ireland. Like, I'm American.
You're right. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
No, but that's okay.
My culture is South City, urban. That's
There
my
you go.
culture.
There you go.
That's good. I think it's good to own where you're comfortable from. So,
Yep.
so getting out the word. That's going to be the.
Yeah.
And I think more videos are a great way to do that too.
Yeah.
We're delighted to have you
Yeah,
here.
being on the radio.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
honestly,
awesome.
it,
Yeah.
Love the radio.
this is fantastic, and Steve's been listening to you guys for a while, and he kind of tuned us into this program, and it's fantastic. Like I really love listening to it.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
I'm always going back and forth on indie radio stations because everything else is owned by like an ABC or a Clear Channel, and they just keep condensing down the music catalog, and I'm sick of hearing the same songs over and over again. And the only DJs that can choose are indie stations,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
I want to hear new stuff.
Well,
So
that's
thank you.
well, college radio is great for that, and it's
Yeah.
in KFAI. We got a lot of places in town that do an amazing job at it. It's and it's been fun to do.
Definitely.
And I think that we like to play songs that mightn't get air. So we always have a theme.
Mhm.
We always laugh because then I'll invite people to give us recommendations. Like, yeah, I don't think Prince needs us to play his music.
Or Bob
And
Dylan.
just
Or Bob
writing
Dylan.
more.
Yeah.
right.
No shade
Yeah,
on
no,
either.
yeah.
On any of them, but it's a great,
Yeah.
And I think, where else are you going to hear new music? Because because I'm old, you can listen to things online now, but I remember when I was a kid, I lived near the campus when I was a kid, so this has been the radio station that I've listened
Yeah.
to since high school. Because where else would you have heard about music then?
Right.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, Minnesota will get a bigger station that will show stuff like The Edge back in the 90s. And
Yes.
104.1 for
Yes.
a second in the mid 2000s, and then they're gone.
Yep. Oh, and I'm finding the online platforms for streaming don't really do a whole lot of help for finding new stuff. I do listen to a lot of classic rock, but I've tried to make specific playlists where it's like, okay, here's some classic rock, but like 60% of it is new stuff. Now, what do you suggest me add to this playlist? And it's like
Rolling Stones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, it's mostly like Steely Dan, Get Back Jack. It's like, oh man.
The best way I had to find new music through some of the streaming services, I shared my account with my kids.
There you go.
Yeah, which you can, I think, do as family.
Yeah,
Friggin'
well,
myself in trouble.
Mine are 3 and
I think
6,
so.
so it's just a lot of Daniel Tiger tunes if I do that.
Yeah.
Some Wiggles, are they still?
Thankfully, I've avoided them.
That's
They're
very
gone.
funny.
They're gone.
All right, should we play one more song? And have you made a big decision?
If you have access to it, are we thinking dance?
Sure.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll do dance.
Can we do it this way?
Yep. Yeah. We just have to find it. Say what we will about streaming services, it does give you a lot of music at your.
That, as
I
a
mean,
matter of
I-
fact,
it's-
if you know what
yeah.
you're looking for, you
Yeah.
can find
Spotify
it.
Yeah.
is about to change their model where you have to get like
I don't
1,000
know
streams
if
or
I
something
did that.
before you get paid out.
Yeah.
It's getting even worse for indie artists. They're gonna take that pot of like an extra 10 million, just give it to the T Swifts of the world
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
because they're they really need the money, guys.
Yes.
It's not in here.
In there. Oh.
All right.
My
I'm gonna.
bad,
Well,
my bad.
okay. Now you've got it. We're just some technical stuff behind the way.
A
Behind the
little
way.
slow.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
more-
Yes.
no worries. A little last minute decision making. So
That's good.
Why don't you just sing it?
Keep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
there you go, Steve.
Did
I
I
Do
was
you-
doing your name backwards there.
Do you listen to your own music like when you're in the car? You're like, I'm gonna listen to that one I wrote
Sometimes
4 years
it's like,
ago.
My
is this as bad as I remember.
No.
luckily, my son's really into the music, so he'll throw it on. So, so actually, he's got it in his alarm clock. So every morning, I have to shut it off because he forgets to turn it off, and it's just like it's just the
And
new
it's
album,
you.
just over and over and over.
That's
That's
it's really
sweet. That's sweet.
Yes. All right. Are we set for it now?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. Here we go.
That's the one.
I like this T-shirt too.
Get me out.
Or the
Which one?
well, I like that one too with the handsome midnight and doesn't have a little tuxedo or something
Oh.
on the side.
Oh,
Am I saying that wrong?
yeah, that,
It's like black
Oh,
and white.
yeah.
and orange. Yeah.
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 the
An
baseball.
acquaintance of ours did
Maybe
that for us.
maybe that's
Yeah.
a different one, but it looked like
Yeah.
Yeah,
Designed our logo for us.
yeah. We used to lean in real hard on the handsome midnight thing.
We would
so
wear
the logo was
suits
We wore
just-
every
suits
single
on
show.
every
Oh, that's
show.
right.
Yeah, yeah.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Yes.
We don't
I
do
saw
that.
We don't do that anymore.
Be short-lived. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's also one of those things where, like, used to bring, like, lamps to every show.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Oh,
wow,
yeah,
I know,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
12
Loungy.
bands who are doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Okay,
copied
tell
us.
me
Yeah, but they
the
don't have my
Star
bear one.
Trek. I saw some images
Oh,
of
yes.
Star
Huge
Trek.
fan.
Yes.
What?
So we played a
Convergence.
Convergence in town, which is
Yep.
it doesn't really have a theme. It's not like one of the big ones.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
like Comic-Con, but the idea is whatever
It's
you're
like
into.
built
so.
by and for
Okay.
nerds. So everybody just shows up and like we're nerds.
Yeah.
So we played in this like
There's
what,
furries, there's all kinds.
40 by 50 foot room
The hotel
for an hour.
ballroom or
Yep.
One of those
Okay.
side
room.
ballrooms.
Yeah.
Yep.
And everybody was dressed up. So
I love
I
it.
was just gonna pick something, but somebody complained that we should all match.
Yep.
Be
So
a theme.
Steve sewed those costumes
Yeah.
for
They
us.
still work at a
Handmade.
costume shop,
Wow.
so I kept to
Wow.
my skills.
Yes. Yep.
That's
so
awesome.
he measured us and he forgot to
Extra
give it a little
tight
wiggle
shirts.
room.
Little tight. Little tight.
So was it like wetsuit material almost too? You
They were all
know?
different materials. I took what I could find as
Like
close to
Okay.
the colors.
Yeah,
so his it was actually velour like the original, so
Yeah.
he had no breathing room.
No, no,
Yeah,
I'm
like-
amazed I didn't
Well,
snap
and
that thing
that's
open.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Velcro it.
Especially the way you move, and that thing would have been in shambles.
There's a few times
It's
where
like
I don't
a-
think I
got
tore
lucky.
The
This
something.
was
Hulk
stretchy.
meets
Yep.
Star Trek type thing.
Yep.
That's impressive.
Yeah. Now I've been going to that convention for 15, 16
Several
years,
years.
something like
I
that.
missed the last.
I missed the last couple,
so it was
'cause-
more difficult.
Yep. But it's always a great time.
Yeah.
It was fun to play there.
Yeah. No, I was like, what is this? That's awesome. Even better that you made the costumes
I
too.
know, right?
I got to cover Comic Con when I wrote for Twin City Daily Planet a couple times,
Really?
Oh, that's great.
and my girls were like, I think Kate was about 14 years old at the time. She was some YouTube hero that she wanted to go see, and I had to laugh because She's got long red hair down to here, and she's quite fetching. We'll just say it. There we do the voice. And I'm like, if you're under 16, that's okay. Otherwise, 14.
Yeah. Weirdos need not apply.
Can't say that at ComCon.
Place to be
And I
empty.
loved it. I mean, I work in the tech field. I loved it. You know what I'm gonna?
Switch it to.
Yes, but
Yeah.
what we'll do is probably wrap it up soon because
Yeah.
we have somebody comes in at 2,
Oh, perfect.
and that gives us time to.
No worries.
It's a long one.
Is it? It's like
No,
4 minutes.
you have 3.5.
We don't have a
Maybe
whole
it's
We
just
have a whole lot of
You
long
have like
songs.
5 more seconds.
I like a
Or
tight
not.
pop song.
Okay.
Dance by Handsome Midnight.
Yes.
Thank you all so much for coming in.
Thanks for having us. It's been fun.
And remind folks of all of the exciting things, when the new album comes
We
out,
are,
when the show
yes.
is.
We are officially releasing it's coming out on Halloween on all major platforms.
Yep,
We're
streaming.
releasing it publicly at the Underground Music Cafe near the Twin Stadium in Minneapolis on November 11th. That's a Saturday, and the doors are at 7. It's early, so if you're old or if you're young and you just like to sleep, you can watch the whole show and not be tired and go home and still have a good time.
That's awesome. How will you be celebrating on Halloween? Will you do something to?
Well, most of us are family men, so
You'll be trick-or-treating?
we will be trick-or-treating,
trick-or-treating.
with our children, more or less. So unfortunately, no band celebration on the day of.
You can
Just
all
dancing
enjoy
in our living
Snickers.
rooms.
That's
Yeah.
exactly right.
Perfect. Well, thank you. It has been such a delight to talk to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And what will we play next?
Rogue Valley with the Wolves and the Raven.
This.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, we forgot
Thank
to say
you.
ruggedly attractive in the dark.
Oh yeah, you're